I want to hit a couple topics, and then we got to do the three-star thing at the end. Florida State. We all watched that one last weekend on Friday night, right? It was the 35-31 comeback. I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, this is a moment for this program. Like, they hang on, they get this win, and I know Mike Norvell went into that locker room, was like, we don't have to lose again. Like, we don't have to lose these games again. And I talked to somebody on the staff earlier today, and they were just like, man, the consistency and standard here is off the hook. So, Felder, what do you think about FSU? Are they back? You just had the 3-up. 3-0, I'd imagine.
I'm just saying. I'm saying yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Listen. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. ACC country, the heart, the vein of ACC country, right up 85. And Florida State's they were never vulnerable in my lifetime, like in my childhood.
Totally. They weren't. Harley Ward. I mean, you could name the players, right?
Like Ward Dunn, like, are you kidding me? Corey Simon,
Derek Brooks, Ray Thomas,
Terrell Buckley.
Who was the real fast receiver? The dude, I think number
Peter
9.
Warwick.
Yeah, there.
Oh my God! Remember we saw Peter Warwick at the opening? Come on.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, and I was like, he looks like he could still play. This is insane. But like, they were never vulnerable, and then they got vulnerable in 2014, 2015. They became vulnerable. And I was like, this isn't how it's supposed to happen. Yeah. And this is a team that looks like they're trying to take everything back. And it's going to take them time. And it's going to take them, like, because of TV deals and all this stuff, people realize that you can recruit in Florida and you don't even have to be in Florida, whether you're Wisconsin or Oregon or USC or Texas or Oklahoma. Everybody's in Florida recruiting now, which wasn't the case before. But they're like, no, we're taking our whole spot. We're taking it back. And Matt, you know about this. The same thing. You're Florida, like, everybody's in Florida now. So you got to work extra hard to take all that stuff back. But Florida State has a level of confidence that I find remarkable. And they would have packed it in a year ago. They would have packed it in 2 years ago. They pack it in this football game. Am I wrong?
You know, when I look at it, because I had the week 1 game. I had the LSU FSU game.
Yes.
Season out. And when I looked at this squad, because when you think of the FSU teams of the past, like, it's suffocating defense. It is guys who can rush the passer and annihilate you. DBs who are faster than you. They will laugh at you as they run past you on an interception run, right? That's the swagger you think of traditionally with FSU, and something that I utterly hate because I went 1-3 against 4 years. So, but there was a huge respect because, like you said, the early '90s teams.
Yeah,
man, I was a full-blown FSU fan, and so I could appreciate that. And the ACC needs FSU to be good.
Need them.
They desperately need FSU to be back. It's FSU or Miami. One of you two got to get your heads out of your butts.
They put the ACC championship game in Orlando and in Jacksonville, thinking that Miami and or Florida State would be the team that was doing it, and they were like, we're losing a lot of money on this because Boston College fans aren't coming down.
They're not coming to Mickey Mouse Land for the ACC championship game. And so we were talking about this era where teams are moving left and right, and you get teams coming over, right? I mean, think about USC, UCLA coming to the Big Ten and the shockwave it brought post Texas, Oklahoma, that shockwave. Yeah. Now everybody's like, well, who is the next one to absorb, assume, or lose?
Oh, yeah.
And so for the ACC to continue that viability in that, you can't just sell Clemson. You can't just sell Pitt, VTech, Wake Forest, like a mixture. You got to have one of those two Florida teams to pull their weight in that. So now it makes that market even more desirable. So now you could say, listen, and listen, I would love for it to be Miami, just for the simple fact that you have that old Big East assumption that comes into that, right? Think about, you have a Pitt, Miami, and Clemson. kind of a little connect the dots there.
Maybe Virginia Tech gets good.
And Virginia Tech can somehow pull it together to reel themselves in. But, I hate to say it, but nobody cares about the Carolina schools when it comes to the ACC and football. Listen, I know. I love you, Mike. I love you. Really, I do. But honestly, when we think of them traditionally, it's always basketball. It is always basketball, and it's nuanced when they are in a position to be good. We're like, hey, good for you. Welcome to the conference. Come on over, bud. It's like how we feel about Vanderbilt. Like, thank God you guys have baseball, right? Because that's it for you. That's the only contribution you make, is that we know we can count on you to take it to the College World Series. But the state of Florida is a different thing, because like you said, everybody wants players from Florida. And if you continue to let them go out west, you let them go to the Big Ten, you let them go to the Big 12, you let them
go to Clemson,
SEC or Clemson. What is that doing for our brand as being the Atlantic Coastal Conference, right? You've got to have that coast. That's the southern coast of it, and that's the heartbeat. So you got to have one of those two schools come back. And hey, Florida State, you were the ones that were the flag bearer, in the late 90s, all through the 90s and the early 2000s. It was FSU's conference.
Yeah.
Now you need to come back and reclaim that glory, right?
Okay, real quick on that.
Be on there.
Max, you got to answer this, but in like 30 seconds. Why didn't you go to FSU?
Ooh.
If that was the dream school you're growing up.
Because when I got there and they said, hey, you can come here and that you can redshirt and you can sit for another 2 years. But by your junior and senior year, you could be a starter in a first round draft pick. I said, sit for 3 years? What? Are you kidding? No. I said, hey, Bobby, thanks for dinner at Silver Slipper. I appreciate it. Awesome job. But I'm not coming here to FSU if that's the case. And they were dead serious about it. I'm like, no, I knew what I could do. I knew I could contribute immediately. And so I was like, boom, these dudes are arrogant.
I love this. I love it. I love that. That's fantastic. Because listen, I sat for 4 years, and guess what? We're on the same show together.
Yeah.
Hey, real fast. We're gonna get to our 3 stars here in a second, the last 4 minutes. But I want to just pose a question that we could pick up next week. When I think of the ACC, I don't think of Clemson. I think of Clemson as one of the big blue bloods in the last decade in college football. When I think of the ACC, I think Florida State. I don't think Miami. I don't even think Pitt. So I think there's a really unique time for Mike Norvell for a land grab if they can take a run this year, because they are the association to that league, to your point of the old Big East. Still breaks my heart.
We're dropping our merch. We got to start calling Underwood Daddy Brad. But I'm a big pod guy. Breaking news. The Field of 68 has an online store, and it's your one-stop shop for the latest and greatest merch in college basketball and college football. You can find shirts to support your favorite team, make fun of your rival team, or boast Field of 68 catchphrases like Daddy Brad, Cussin' and Discussin', and the Star Heels. Go to www.fieldof68.shop today and enter promo code touchdown for 20% off at checkout.
All right. So with that said, our last 3, we got 3 minutes. Felder, you going first. Max, you go second. I'll go last and close out the show.
Are we gonna go QB? Are we gonna do 3 rounds?
QB? Yeah, just hit me with all 3. QB, skill, defense. What you got?
QB. I got Tate. What's it? Tate Rodemaker from Florida State.
Nice.
6 of 10 against Louisville, and the guy survived. He helped them get that win and touched it go ahead touchdown. I love that. I've got Washington's wide receiver Jalen
McMillan.
Polk.
Yeah.
There's
Polk.
2 Jalens. They got 2 Jalens, but I go Jalen Polk. 153 receiving yards. Amazing. Getting the win over Michigan State. I hope my wife's not listening. She went to Michigan State. She's going to be upset.
Beat down.
And I'm going with Aaron Casey from Indiana. I think he had 3 tackles for loss in a game that they needed. They needed that game. If they would have lost that game to Western Kentucky, right? If they lose that game, Tom Allen feeling a little heat. He's feeling a little heat. So I think that those are my 3. What do you guys got? What do you got, Max?
All right. Well, what I got, I'm gonna have to go the game I was watching. So I like Stetson Bennett. I mean, 16 to 23, 284, 2 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. The man had an efficiency over 200. He was just doing what he wanted in that game. So that's my quarterback. Skill, I'm gonna go Blake Corum. When else do you get 5 tutties in a single game and you rush for under 100 yards? Think about that. 12 carries, 71 yards, 5 tutties. So I'll give it to him for Michigan. And then defense, I'm gonna go Jay Ward from LSU.
Nice.
You really needed this game against Will Rogers, and we knew what the aerial attack was.
Yes.
Mississippi. We knew they were just an onslaught of air raid, and they
were on the ropes.
Yeah, on the road, and you held Will Rogers to under 250 yards passing in this game. And you also had the only interception. You had 11 tackles and 1 interception, the key interception in that game. So that was my 3. What do you have, Yogi?
All right, I like it. Nice drive by Jaden Daniels at the end of that game. I'm going offense, Michael Penix. I think he's a Heisman candidate. We got to talk about him that way. Dismantling of Michigan State. Wasn't sacked one time. Michigan State led the nation in sacks coming into that ball game. Skill, Travis Dye. I got to see this weekend. He's pretty impressive. He's going back to the state of Oregon. He's kind of like running like a man, running through dudes at the end. I'm excited for this guy. He's married man now. He comes back to that state. Big game Saturday night. And then defensively, because I was watching him all day, I fell in love with a guy named Solomon Byrd. This guy played 5 snaps in the opener on the defensive line for Alex Grinch. He finished the game with sack calls, fumble, multiple huge plays in the backfield. They're going to need him all season long because if SC can have a pass rush, they could have a chance to play with the big dogs. So I'm staying with the West Coast. Can't wait to call that Saturday night. So with that said, we're out. We love you. So much fun hanging with you guys. Big shout out to Michelle Rosenthal. Max, you know what I'm talking about. Fellow, I miss you, man. I can't wait to see y'all. We're out of here. This is, I was going to say Pac-12 After Dark. It is kind of sometimes that way, but it is not that. It is a lot of blast. Had a lot of fun with you guys. Appreciate the time and attention. Big thanks to everybody who's supporting us at BetRivers Sportsbook. Peace.
What's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.